What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And today we're back at it answering more questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And this question comes from... Oh, I have it.
You got it.
This question comes from just some dude, 3762. How would you guys want to see the Lion and Guilliman reunion look like?
So, as of right now, the filming of this video, it hasn't happened yet. The last time we saw the Lion, he was fighting off Vastor and Chaos and all that on the rebuilt Chaos world of Caliban, now called Wormwood. And he basically left with like Dante and his angels to reclaim the rest of the Fallen, to basically help the Imperium again.
Yeah, as reinforcements, kind of.
Right.
For them.
Yeah, and the last time we saw Guilliman is he was fighting off these Tyranid invasions way back in the beginning of 10th edition.
Yep. So how would we like to see them back together? I think it would be really cool if Guilliman and the Lion got together to go look for another one of their bros. If we can get Jagatai Khan, Corvus Corax, even Rogaldorn, that, Guilliman and the Lion go into the warp and search for their brother or brothers. Mm-hmm. That would be really cool.
Yeah, it definitely has to be something big that actually requires the use of two Primarchs. Because we've seen every time the Chaos Demons Primarchs fight against the Loyalist ones, they always lose. And it's like, even though they're being pushed with like demons and Chaos Space Marines and boons from like the Chaos Gods, they're still losing to these regular, most of the time weakened Loyalist Primarchs.
Yeah.
But they have been boosted because obviously Guilliman has the Emperor's Sword and the Lion, he has the Emperor's Shield.
Yep.
So they've got a little bit of backing in their direction. But again, I feel like the Imperium is slowly losing its momentum.
Yeah. Games Workshop has to do something to pick that up.
But at the same time, I like that, though, because that's like the grim darkness, the hopelessness. It's
the
like
stagnation.
Here's a light, coming back into the hopes of humanity with a Primarch, and it's still getting beat down, even though they are kind of coming out on top.
Yeah, I like that. Good question. Next one comes from the... Kiss your hobby as you know it goodbye. Everything that becomes mainstream turns to shit. So do you think that now that Warhammer 40K is becoming pretty popular with Henry Cavill talking about it, even like the guy who plays Spider-Man saying that he's played a game, do you think it's because of that mainstream aspect of it, it's shitting on the hobby?
So yes and no. The way I see it is you have these niche like hobbies that get a lot of support, and then eventually they get too much, where it's like they can't ignore the overall population, and then companies and CEOs are like, hey, this is now getting more money, it's making more profits for us, let's keep on doing it. And eventually you'll see it in like movies, TV shows, video games, toys. I mean, look at 40K. If you were playing 40K 20 years ago and somebody said there's going to be a Monopoly version of 40K, a Risk 40K, you're going to have kids' adventure books on Warhammer 40K, people would be like, no the fuck not. This is grim, dark shit. Like, this is not going to go into that. People's parents are going to see this and be like, no, get little Timmy away from that. Don't look.
Yeah.
But no, that's exactly what's happening. And while I do agree it is kind of watering down 40K with the grim darkness, at the same time, like Marvel, look what Marvel did. It gave us a perfect saga in the Infinity War, where it gave us awesome payoffs, awesome stories, cool characters. And then Infinity War and Endgame was like the final like 10 out of 10 movie. Like, in my opinion, when I saw it, it was the best movie experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like, when the snap happened, you could hear a pin drop in the theater and people crying. You could hear the little sniffles.
Damn.
Yeah. But it was stuff like that where, like, if Marvel never got popular, the comics would have shut down.
True.
Like, they were almost at that point where, like, we either have to sell it or there's no more Marvel comics. And because it got popular, we ended up having this awesome new entertainment form in movies.
Yeah, and also remember that on the topic of like Marvel, remember that Fantastic Four, X-Men, the Spider-Man movies were actually good, the initial ones. expect shitty movies.
Oh
at
yeah,
first.
of course.
Even if we look back at like the old Hulk and Captain America movies, they were trash. So 40K is just experiencing that boom that Marvel had experienced back in the day. So if we get some shitty ass movies in the beginning, don't lose hope. It can get better. And as long as Games Workshop is there influencing the actual like the creators, the directors of the TV series, the movies, and all that kind of stuff. Because another aspect is, look at Harry Potter. Harry Potter is something that came from the UK and it did really, really well. So much so that I think it did better than it did when it was back just a book. So if we take the Dark Heresy or the Black Library books and turn them into movies, there's potential that they might become something amazing, as long as Games Workshop continues to say, hey, look, our core audience is all about the grim darkness and like this aesthetic. Keep it. Don't try to make it into some sci-fi thing. Because another thing that I've noticed is, if you look at Netflix and all the streaming networks, we get series after series of shitty sci-fi movies. And Games Workshop should say, we don't want to make a sci-fi movie, we want to make a 40K movie. And part of 40K is grim darkness, horror. It's about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So as long as we get that, it's good. But don't lose hope.
Right. Again, one shitty movie does not mean the end of it all.
Right.
So fingers crossed, and hopefully they do it the right way.
We're just kidding. Wokeness is going to destroy 40K.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that as a short. That way people are like, he's right. Next question.
Brian BBB, how much lore do you think the Exodites will get in the future?
We've talked about this in a couple of videos before.
Yeah. So watch our videos, Brian, because we've answered it. They'll get their comeuppance, probably not in the way everybody wants, which is like a faction redo thing. It'll probably be some type of like Necromunda or Kill Team or something like that. But I think they could do a good job, again, because the Seraphon can do like dinosaur mounts well, so the Exodites will probably do that as well.
True. Next question comes from Guild of Noobs. Who in the 40K would have the largest man meat? Dingle Dangle. Purple Pickle. Would a Slanesh follower have an upper hand in girth, or does the Emperor truly bless? Asking for a friend. I think let's do race. The race with the biggest ding dong. What did you say? Dingle Dangle. My bad.
Purple Pickle.
Yeah. Race wise, we can get the Tau out of the way, because the Tau probably have like a little, baby carrot. Eldar, I think they're too elegant to have big.
To be
guns.
rocking the Schmeat.
Yeah. Orcs, technically,
they don't have any. Yeah.
No. Tyranids, I think Tyranids got it. You can have a hive ship be a giant penis.
You could, yeah. Necrons, they don't have any. They're metal bodies. I guess they could like chisel one out.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Nids.
Really? I was gonna say, who are we kidding? It's got to be the Space Marines.
But Space Marines don't have balls, or genitalia. I do think that it's cool that Alien which Tyranids is somewhat inspired by the Alien franchise. Aliens are supposed to be phallic in nature.
Yeah, with like the shape of their heads. I think something about like the Queen has some like weird labia stuff going on.
Yeah, with the little things, the flaps. So you lick these first, and then
Pay attention, guys.
I'll teach you, I'll
Jot that down quick.
I know where to find. Never mind. Good question. Next one.
This one is by Pat Clevenger. I never see anybody recommend Cyphus Kane. I think that would be a really killer start into the 40K movies / shows.
I haven't read Cyphus Kane, which is the what are they called?
Gaunt's Ghosts and all that.
Ghost, yeah. But yeah, I've heard really good things about them.
To put it plainly, it's think Band of Brothers, but like 40K style.
Yeah. And Band of Brothers was an amazing series. I would watch it again and again and again and again. So if they can do something like that, but with 40K, it would be awesome. Funny enough, I recently found a website where you can watch all movies for free, even the ones that just came out yesterday. And I was watching War of Tomorrow, I think it's called, or Tomorrow's War, something like that, with the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically a Tyranid invasion. Spoiler alert. But it's really badass, and you guys should check it out. There's some really cool ways that Games Workshop can create a Xenos in a movie and make it be badass. It doesn't have to be super cheesy. So yeah, keep that in mind, Games Workshop. Next question.
Oh, now that I remember that movie. It came out a while back.
Yeah, with like those Tyranid aliens that are white with the tentacles that shoot out little things. I have one from Winter Wrath. Would you rather be a Space Marine with a 15 tall head or an Imperial Guard with a 2 centimeter long left arm?
So, Space Marines are notorious for never getting shot in the head, especially when their helmets are off. But having a 15-foot tall bullseye, I'm not going to take those chances. I'm going to be the Imperial Guardsman.
With a 2 centimeter long left arm.
Mm-hmm. Basically, I don't have a left arm.
Which means also that, like, how are you going to shoot? Well, you're going to get a prosthetic.
Either that, or I could just like have like the belt. And
Yeah.
just kind of like Rambo it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I would do the head, 15-foot tall head, because I can spit acid. Imagine a 15.
But what if your mouth is the same size? Maybe it's just the head that's big, but the
it's
face.
just the cranium.
Yeah.
So I'm just like mega mind. And then he says, P.S. I exclusively listen to these in bed with my eyes closed. Sometimes I do look just to see the latest Sound Alchemist drip or Gersh's hair and beard combo. Yeah, I do look nasty sometimes.
But it's good to be nasty.
Yeah. Depending on the context, right?
True. Not nasty in like how most wargamers don't like shower and stuff.
Yeah.
But nasty in the Slanesh way.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're on your period, baby. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. Slanesh over Nurgle. It's the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.
Oh, what if you could put my freedom first in any